Hey everyone, and welcome back to day 2 of Tableau week. Today I'm going to be going over your project that we will be doing. This will take us through the end of this week. I think you're really going to love this. I know I say that a lot, but I genuinely mean it. So yesterday, hopefully you got the hang of how to create a tableau, what it is, how we do it, why we do it, what makes a good tableau, what makes one that's kind of meh. And now it's time to kind of combine all of that to create this project. So I'm going to go over what it is, and then you will have a different task each day towards this project that you will be able to find in the module. So the first thing is the title, Fairy Tale Tableaus. And you're probably thinking, what in the world is this going to be? Well, I'm so glad you asked. I will tell you. You're going to choose a famous fairy tale from my list, which I will share with you here in just a second. And you're going to break down the fairy tale into 10 scenes. Okay, I'm going to say that again, 10 scenes. Each scene will be told through a tableau with a brief narration. And this narration may be read. It does not have to be 100% memorized. Each tableau will be different, and it must include the following. You need to have music and a set. So when I say break the fairy tale down into 10 scenes, here's what I mean by that. Once you've chosen your fairy tale, let's just, for instance, say you want to pick Hansel and Gretel. How would you tell Hansel and Gretel in 10 scenes? If you had to break down that story into 10 parts, each part would be a tableau. So I hope that makes sense. I do have an example to show you here in a few minutes that I think will clear it up if you're thinking right now, oh my gosh, McGuire, I have no clue what you're saying. Here is the list of fairy tales to choose from. So we've got some real classics on here, y'all. Three Little Pigs, Little Red Riding Hood, Cinderella, Princess and the Frog, Pinocchio, Hansel and Gretel, Jack and the Beanstalk, and last but certainly not least, Goldilocks and the Three Bears. So this is your list to choose from. You can pick anyone you want. This will be a group project if you are in person. And if you are remote, we're going to get creative with this. So stay tuned, remote learners, for how I'm going to have you achieve this project. But first, before we get there, I'm going to show you an example of what this looks like.
Snow White by Giovanni, Sarah, Anya, Jackson, and Morgan.
A royal baby is born, but the queen soon dies. The king names the new princess Snow White.
Many years later, Snow White's stepmother forces her to do servant-like chores while the handsome prince rides by, falling in love as he passes.
The stepmother asks her magic mirror, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?" The mirror answers that Snow White is the fairest.
The queen orders that Snow White is to be killed. She sends out a huntsman to find the princess after she fled into the dark forest.
Snow White manages to escape from the huntsman and finds a little house where 7 dwarfs live, far from the civilization.
Snow White, warming up to the dwarfs, starts to clean the house and cook their meals.
Queen finds out that Snow White isn't dead, so she creates a poisonous apple.
The queen transforms herself into an old woman and gives the poisonous apple to Snow White.
Snow White bites from it and faints to the ground, with all the dwarfs surrounding her, sobbing for their loss.
The prince finds Snow White and kisses her. He breaks the spell and Snow White awakens. They lived happily ever after.
Okay, so as you could see, that was a really good example of one of the fairy tales being told. Now notice how there were 10 different slides, 10 different narrations, 10 different tableaus. This is exactly what you are going to be doing with the fairy tale that you choose. So I know it may feel a little overwhelming to think, how do you break down an entire story and tell it in 10 parts? Well, simplify. The simpler, the better. Each of these scenes that we just watched was no more than 2 sentences. And you want it to be simple. With a tableau, if you try to go getting too carried away and too detailed, it's going to make it complicated for you. So think simple. Think, how could I tell my fairy tale simply with 10 different scenes? All right, well, for today, you are going to get started with choosing your fairy tale and then breaking it down into the 10 scenes. If you finish that today, before our time is up, then you will move on to figuring out what you want to do for the tableaus. Friday, we will perform, and tomorrow on Thursday will be a rehearsal day. All right, hope you're excited. Bye.